Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Torres, and I am the marketing manager for Streetwave. I want to thank everyone for taking your time out of your day to attend today's Baicells webinar and learn about private and public partnerships utilizing LTE. I have Ronald, who is the Director of Carrier Solutions with Baicells, who will be conducting today's presentation. I will now pass the mic on to Ronald so he can begin.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, first of all, Angela, for setting this up, and thanks for everyone who takes your time for this webinar. Trying to make this informational. So, as Angela has introduced, first of all, let me do a sanity check. Angela, do you hear me all right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Yeah, the subject of this webinar is the private and public partnerships utilizing LTE. Baicells and Streetwave has formed many partnerships in the private sector and public sectors to utilizing this LTE technologies to provide wireless services, networking services. We have been very successful, and we wanted to be have more success in the future with many of you. Thank you. And today's webinar, I've structured my presentation to 4 parts. The first, I would like to highlight Baicells profile, and secondly, I will present live use cases which is recently recorded, and hopefully it will be very informational. And following that, I will introduce our solutions to provide telecommunication services for either carrier networks in the public sector or the WISP services in a rural area. And lastly, I want to touch upon our power supply systems that goes with our telecommunication solution. The Baicells brief profile. I think Baicells and Streetwave has done webinars in the past, and so some of you may or may not know something or many things about Baicells, but bear with me when I will highlight the Baicells solutions again, and some of those information may have been updated. So Baicells is offering the first-class telecommunication solutions. There are, in terms of the data throughput, we've been reaching 1.6 gigahertz with our latest 5G technologies. In terms of our 4G solutions, our solutions can achieve as high as 440 megabits per second. Per base station can, with our high power base stations, we can serve up to 256 users simultaneously. And the other highlights of our solutions are as follows. First of all, we are trying to provide a plug and play solutions that is very easy to use. And this is a very unique feature of our products. Many customers enjoy the fact that our solution is very easy to deploy and which has lowered the entrance barrier for them significantly. And that philosophy also goes with our cost model. Our products are has very low upfront investment. For example, our core solutions is cloud-based, so customers do not have to have any capital investment upfront, and they can go deploy their network just with the radios and CPEs for their customers. And we provide end-to-end solutions. We are a one-stop shop, if you would, and we help customers build the connectivities from the core all the way to the household. Our solution is standard-based, which is based on the LTE standards, and this is very important because we do not want to lock in our customers into a single vendor, which is Baicells. So we participate in a very healthy ecosystem in LTE. So customers has the peace of mind that they have the flexibilities to explore the benefits from different vendors, even though we believe we are the best. And that also goes with the philosophy of the Open RAN, which is becomes very popular in recent years. Open RAN, the philosophy of Open RAN, exactly like the LTE, which we participate in a healthy ecosystem where more vendors are invited into the solution, into providing solutions, so that operators and a customer has more choices. Not only that they have more choices, but they have also the pricing powers when they're dealing with multiple vendors. Our solutions is future-proof. The fact that we are following the standards, meaning that because the standards are evolving by itself. For example, LTE is a 4G technologies is evolving to 5G next radio or NR, and we are on that path. So the little bit of history about Baicells. Baicells has been around since 2014, and we came to the US in 2016, and we have been growing very fast. And this chart shows that we have deployed many networks globally. We have deployed more than 80 core networks. We have deployed more than 200,000 base stations globally. And in terms of the end user devices, we have more than 400,000 of them in service. Baicells is a very innovative. We invested more than 60% of our resources into R&D. We are 600 plus employees strong, and more than 70 of them are dedicated into R&D. This picture shows you some of our products, and Baicells' vision is to connect more with less. So our philosophy is to provide low-cost, easy-to-use solutions for our customers, both in the 4G and 5G. And our technology is disruptive because we are always seeking the innovative solutions to achieve our goal. And our products have been serving mobile carriers, broadband carriers, cable carriers, virtual carriers, and government and enterprise networks in both the private sectors and public sectors. Our product portfolio has these categories. We have base stations for outdoors, and we have base stations for indoors. We have routers that is powered by PoE that will simplify the deployment, especially in an indoor environment. We have MiFis that is both a CPE and a Wi-Fi router that can be carried around in your pocket. Our small cell technologies allows it to be mounted on the on a pole. So this gives you, it requires 0 footprint on the ground. And we follow the same philosophies to have our power backup solutions that can be also mounted on a pole next to the base station. So both the power backup and the base stations require 0 footprint. We have EPCs, which is the core solutions that can be either deployed locally on premise, or you can enjoy the EPC services on the cloud, which is housed by Baicells itself. The cloud core has its advantage of being low cost, and the deployment can be very fast because there's no the services of cloud core is all provided by Baicells, and the service is offered as on a subscription based. So with the introduction of our profiles, I would like to present you a use case. I would have to get help from Angela because my laptop is not working very well on the audio.
We're really excited to build out what we believe is a next generation wireless network. From a visionary standpoint, or we want to be known across the world as not just the entertainment capital. We also want to be known as a technology epicenter, where really we have the right ecosystem to bring business and people together to create great opportunities for the future.
The first and most exciting use case is right here in Las Vegas. You know, we have been pleased to partner with Baicells to be developing what we are told is the largest municipal wireless network in the country.
We're harnessing the power of CBRS to really link together our educational institutions as well as other community assets. During the pandemic, obviously our schools were closed. There was a lot of concern about how we can keep education going.
There's an estimated 15 million kids and students in the United States that don't have adequate internet access.
Our team really did something that's unheard of in government, which is start to finish, turn the switch on, if you want to call it that, up and running, 45 days with success. I mean, we had students connecting, everything was flawless, smooth.
We did this in 45 days or less. That's key because you can't do this alone. This doesn't happen. You don't build communities alone.
We happen to be fortunate to partner with Terranet, and Terranet brought Baicells in. You know, there's a lot of things that make Baicells stand out in my mind. Number one was just the breadth of solutions, proven reliability.
We are an end-to-end solutions provider, and we build private networks. We have a diverse client base, and we were pleased to be selected as the architect of the network. So we're proud to be helping school districts to be bringing their students online. That's something we think is very important.
When you see a mother or a father walk into a community center and break down into tears because you're giving them something to help their child get an education, no project rings truer than this one for making life better for people. It just goes to the heart.
Probably the most emotional project I've ever had in my 5 years of being in Las Vegas.
Well, thank you, Angela.
No problem. Back to you.
All right. So yeah, hopefully that video can help you get an idea about what we have done by partnering with Terranet to work with the city of Las Vegas to bridge, to close the gap of the digital divide. So the highlight of this video is that during the pandemic, the problem that many students are without internet services becomes very problematic. The estimate shows that in the U.S. Alone, 15 million of students do not have sufficient internet connectivity to allow them to continue learning from remotely. And the solutions is to build private networks utilizing the CBRS technologies to quickly build a network to serve these unserved students. We have achieved that goal within 45 days, as the video shows. This LTE network is essentially a private LTE network, which means that the city of Las Vegas owns the network all by itself. It not only owns the equipment, but it also owns the frequency spectrum itself, which is the advantages of the CBRS technology. The CBRS spectrums was offered as a shared spectrum that everyone can be served with that spectrum by following the new FCC rule, Part 96, which means that you can get served by that spectrum by working with one of the spectrum access service servers offered by the SaaS vendors. And so I would like to dive into a little bit more details on the technical side of our product. These slides are heavy duty and can be very boring, but I will try to highlight the product as characteristics so that you can get the takeaway from these slides with the ideas that can help you to form the partnership with us or with Streakwave for your network build out. Our solutions are end-to-end. We have core network solutions. In LTE architecture, you will need a core network. You will need a radio access network, and you will need the user equipment. And our product portfolio offers all of them. On the core network side, we have our core solutions came with different flavors. The EPC core can be embedded into the base station itself. It can be served by our cloud EPC, or if you prefer, you can deploy an EPC core on-premise with our local EPC solution. This local EPC will allow you to interwork with IMS servers to provide voice services if that is what you're looking for. So on the radio access side, we have either integrated solutions or distributed solutions. The integrated solutions are designed for easy deployment. The small cell has baseband functions and radio functions all built in some of our base stations even have the antennas built in. It is a plug and play. We also offer distributed solutions. The distributed solutions separates the radio unit, RRU, from the baseband unit, which is BBU. The objectives of these distributed base stations is to follow the Open RAN philosophy, which is to open up the interfaces between the baseband processors and radio units, so that you can introduce more vendors to participate in the radio access solutions. That the Open RAN architecture also provides an easy evolution path from 4G to 5G, which I will talk about later. So on the device side, we have devices both at the lower end and the higher end. For customers who are looking for a low-cost solutions, we have this ES series that is very cost-effective. And for customers who are looking for higher performances, and we have this EG series, which can give you much higher performances. And on the core side, this is another illustration of our flexibility as our EPC core. So for the fixed wireless services, the embedded EPCs and cloud EPCs are very popular. We have served over 600 rural operators in the WISP market, and most of them are utilizing our cloud EPC services. And the embedded EPC, or Halo B, which is our brand name, further enhance the cloud EPC services. The Halo B will move some of the control plane functions from the cloud EPCs on the base station itself, so that in the case where the public internet that connects your base station to the cloud EPC gets lost, the base station can continue to serve, to provide services. But for the enterprise customers, the most of our enterprise customers are looking for layer 2 connectivities, where they can control the they can have the visibilities of the end users through their intranet, and in that case, the local EPC becomes very popular. And our EPC solutions is cloud native, meaning that it can be either offered from either from a cloud or on a local EPC on a physical hardware on premise. The local EPC has the open interface that allows it to be connected with IMS servers, which means that a voice over LTE service can be offered with this connectivity. So all in all, the core network solutions from Baicells give you the flexibilities to serve different customers, either in the private sector or public sectors. The core services are very scalable with different hardware specifications that you have. and we can deploy a core that serves from the number of subscribers ranges from 100 to 100,000. Moving on. This is an overview of our outdoor product portfolio on the base station side. And there's many of them, but I would like to highlight the one in the middle, the Nova 436Q. It is our flagship outdoor base stations. It is what's unique about it is that it was built for the CBRS deployment from scratch, which is different from other base stations offered in the marketplaces. Many of them were just a outfit from their legacy base stations, which may not be ideal for CBRS deployment. We have developed this Nova 436Q from scratch with the requirements or the specifications of CBRS by itself. What's specific about CBRS is that it has, for example, the power limitation, the power, transmit power is heavily regulated by the CBRS standards. Each on a 10 megahertz channel, the maximum transmit power is limited at 47 dBm. And our base stations is built to maximize that transmit power with minimum hardware footprint. And price-wise, it is also very advantageous. This Nova 436Q works on 2 carriers to give you the flexibilities of deploying it either in a dual sector configuration, which means that one unit can be used to serve 2 sectors, or it can be configured with carrier aggregation, meaning that you can serve customers in one sector with 2 carriers, which provides the maximum throughput per user. And that is the flagship, but beyond that, we have the options of lower power small cells such as Nova 227 and Nova 233. And we have base stations that are working in a higher power, which is very popular in other frequency bands, such as band 41. Band 41 is a frequency band that is exclusive, meaning that you can transmit the power at much higher voltages. So on the right are the distributed base stations, which provides the very similar services as the integrated models, but they have this Open RAN model that allows you to be Open RAN ready, and also 5G ready, because 5G is embracing the Open RAN technology. Besides outdoor solutions, we also have indoor solutions. At the beginning of the CBRS rollout, the outdoor fixed wireless network is a predominant use cases. But however, we have seen the indoor enterprise coverages taking off. And for that, we have these indoor base station solutions to address that growth. In this picture, you can see the Neutrino 430, which is function-wise, which is equivalent of the Nova 436Q, which I have introduced in the previous slides. But however, it is designed for indoor deployment so that it has built-in antennas inside the unit. And besides GPS synchronization, it also supports the IEEE 1588v2 synchronization, which is very popular or universal in indoor environment. We have this also the Nebula product line that offers the narrowband IoT services, which is one of the verticals that the CBRS is capable of serving. Just like our outdoor solutions, our indoor solutions has the Open RAN equivalent, which is the distributed 4G or 5G solutions. The Wi-Fi family. Our fixed broadband services are serving the end user or may not have a CBRS modem. Wi-Fi is a very universal access mode, and this Wi-Fi routers and serve that purpose, just to serve that purpose. The snap routers can be used to deploy together with our CBRS UEs or CPEs. The snap routers have can provide Wi-Fi coverages for the end user devices such as the laptops or smartphones or TV sets. And but besides that, it has also provide two features that can be very beneficial to CPE. One feature is that it can power the CPE itself by providing a PoE connectivity, and it also the snap router is integrated with our management system, where you can manage this snap routers from the management's website. The pocket router is a combination of UE and snap router itself in a small form factor. It has the mobilities that you can move it around. Even with CBRS, that is also allowed. CBRS has a category of the end user device, which does not have to be in a fixed location, and the pocket router takes advantage of that. And our Wi-Fi 6 mesh routers is our new product that which is very handy when you are trying to provide Wi-Fi coverage in a big household. You can place one of each of these boxes in the room throughout the household to provide the seamless Wi-Fi coverage together with our CPE, LTE, the CPE which provides the LTE backhaul. Well, this slide's what we're trying to explain how Open RAN help the evolution from 4G to 5G. By separating the radio and the baseband, you can evolve the radio and baseband independently toward the 5G. The radio itself is, the 5G radio will be built with a channel size of 100, which is popular in 5G, so that the 4G radios you deploy today can be used for 5G because of that widened channel size. So on the baseband side, we have separated baseband processing from between the technology-specific processing powers and the technology-agnostic processings. The technology-agnostic processings will be served on x86 servers that does not require a hardware upgrade. But for the technology-specific processing capabilities, those will be located on accelerator card. Accelerator card for 4G can be plugged into this unit for 5G services. And when it evolves into 5G, you can just plug a 5G accelerator card and you are ready to go. On the CPE side, we have the CPEs in different categories. In terms of transmit power, we have this indoor CPEs that is working in, with a low transmit power, and we have this outdoor CPEs that is working on a higher transmit power. And on the outdoor side, we have even further divided the capabilities between the low gain CPE and high gain CPE. So that is on the transmit power perspective. From the capability perspective, we have this CPEs evolved from generations to generations. The first generation is our Cat4 CPEs, that is 3GPP are release 9 compliant. And the second generation is the Cat6 CPEs that are 3GPP release 10 compliant, that supports carrier aggregation. And our latest CPE is category 15, which is 3GPP release 12 compliant, that can support carrier aggregations with more than 2 carrier components. All of these CPEs are FCC certified to be deployed in CBRS networks. The power backup and restore is offered by, also offered with our small cell-like technologies. On the compact outdoor UPSs, we have this 100-watt series and the kilowatt series. The 100-watt series are the Helios 400-watt backup and the PSU, which is designed for the CBRS base stations. That requires low transmit power. And then we have this Helio kilowatt series that is designed for the high power base stations, such as those in the band 41 coverages. And we also have this cabinet power systems that is designed for the Open RAN or distributed base stations, where the baseband are typically deployed on the ground, requires a footprint. These power UPS solutions can be connected with grid power, either a grid power or solar power in a very remote area. Our cloud-based cores have this BOSS systems or business operations and support systems that gives the operators the access of this BOSS systems by themselves, which is web-based. From there, the operators can manage their network with web access. From there, they can manage the networks. They can manage their customers. They can import the MZ card that it allows that provisions the CPE, and they can also generate billings for their customers. This web access is also available from smartphone. The network management system is unified. With the network management that is available on the cloud, operators can manage the eNode Bs, the CPEs, and the power supply systems by a unified user interface. In terms of customer support, we have this layer 1 and layer 2 and layer 3 support all integrated together. We have the local operations in the US, and we have also global operations overseas. So essentially, we have the support teams that can work around the clock to help customers address the problems they find in the field. I am allocated for 45 minutes for our presentation, but I have already covered most of them. And I have a couple more slides to highlight the solutions for the different coverage scenarios. We have our solutions has a vision of evolving into 5G. So operators should have a peace of mind that our technology is future-proof. Now we can extend the coverage of mobile carriers with our small cell solutions, and we have served rural WISP customers with the fixed wireless solutions. In the public sector, we have this vertical solutions or to provide the services for public safeties and municipality, the city, smart city build out such as Las Vegas. This is an illustration of our mobile extension with our outdoor solutions. I'm going to be very quick. I'm not going to dive into this. And this is a network architecture for this mobile extension. Again, I will move very quickly from here. Mobile extension also is offered in an indoor environment. As you can see, many small cells in an indoor deployment can be aggregated with our hubs back to the baseband unit. Our mobile extensions has a flexible backhaul options. The backhaul can be either a Ethernet or fiber or even a LTE wirelessly. This is the architecture of a fixed wireless access. I think many of you who has deployed Baicells solutions should be very familiar with this architecture. And our private LTE can go underground as well. The Internet of Things is a new application scenarios which becomes more and more popular in airport coverages and in smart agricultural coverages. And that concludes my presentation in 45 minutes. Back to you, Angela.
Perfect, thank you. All right, I do have a few questions here, so we can try to go through them. So this was kind of earlier in your presentation, and they were asking, will the pocket router be getting a band of 48?
Yes, a pocket router is available in both band 41 and band 48.
Perfect. So this customer is asking, if they enable voice services, can they use embedded SIMs or do they have to use the Baicells SIMs? Is it possible to give customers a profile for their phone that would allow them to roam into their network with their own carrier SIM?
Yes, I think both scenarios should work. If you use a Baicells SIM, you probably need a dual SIM devices that allows you to switch between a public network and a private network. But with the single SIM, and our core supports the roaming capabilities so that it can be for a public network SIM, it can be routed back to the public network.
Perfect. Does Baicells have a LiDAR base near LOS map tool, like what Cambium and Federates are doing?
The network planning, is this a question for network planning?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we do offer preliminary network planning services by running this ATO tools. That is a very common request, especially when customers were designing a budgetary plan for their network rollout. But however, for detailed RF planning, we work with our partners, RF planning partners, to provide detailed network mapping. So both options are available.
Perfect. All right, and another question, this goes back just a couple slides before we wrapped up. It stated that the CBRS is NB-IoT compatible. However, the NB-IoT bands that you have listed were showing 5, 6. Is it standardized to be backwards compatible, or was that maybe just an error on our end?
That is, yeah, I mean, I need to make a clarification. I think when I am talking about NB-IoT, this is the slides. This, I need to clarify. That's a good question. NB-IoT, narrowband NB-IoT is offered in the FDD band, which is different from CBRS. So when CBRS is offering Internet of Things services, we're not talking about the narrowband, we're talking about broadband. So that is the clarification I would like to make. I think, let me see. This network of Internet of Things offered by CBRS is not going to be narrowband. It's going to be broadband.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I don't see any other questions coming through. So again, I wanted to thank everyone for attending and Ronald for the presentation. We will definitely have this recording sent out to everybody that attended, and we will also possibly have a link to this presentation as well. If there are any other questions that do arise, please don't hesitate to reach out to your StreetWave representative or directly to Baicells. Thanks again, everyone.